Hello, welcome to What Sold Video. This is everything that sold for me on eBay the first week of May, so May 1st to May 7th. It was a struggle week for sure, but I'm going to scoot over here and I'm going to share everything that did sell. So the first thing that I'm going to share with you is this Carlsbad Cavern piece. I picked up a bunch of these vintage patches from a thrift store a really long time ago. I paid $1 for each one, and you're like, how in the world are you making any money offering free shipping and paying $1 for these? Well, that is because patches, postcards, stamps, and like trading cards can all go eBay standard envelope, which instead of it costing, $4 to ship this, it cost me 60 cents to ship this. So I ended up making about $4 off of this patch, and these things, I've had them for 4 years. So the fact that they are starting to sell as of the last 6 months, I am very grateful for. Sold for $5.84. This next thing is a big thank you to Donna. Donna ordered this book because she does have a master's my friend Donna has a master's in fine arts in children's literature, and she bought a copy of this book, and God saw that it was bad. This for herself, and what ended up happening is she ended up having 2 of them delivered to her house. She apparently contacted the seller and they're just like, keep it. And so she gave 1 copy to me to sell. Well, this book is actually apparently very valuable because it is out of print. And so even though this was not in new condition, it sold for my full asking price of $29.87. So if you find this book and God saw that it was bad by Otto Weiss, pick it up because it will sell. And this sold within a month of me listing it for my full asking price, so that was great. This is another book. This is something that I picked up at that big book haul, so I have 10 cents into this book, and it sold for $12.87. I would not normally pick this up, but I did because it was in new condition. This is a pair of Oshkosh Bagosh 4T short alls. I picked these up at the bins. I put these up for sale up on Whatnot. They didn't sell on Whatnot, but I have no qualms whatsoever selling these little bib overalls from Oshkosh Bagosh. They do consistently sell for me depending on the size and whatever pattern there are or the condition they're in. They will normally sell between $10 and $25. It just depends. This one sold for $12, and I got it at the bins, and it's a little kid's thing, so I probably paid less than $1 for it. This is a 1977 Wilton the Count cake pan. I paid $2 for this at a thrift store. It took 3 years to sell. I learned my lesson on these Wilton cake pans. Even the nostalgia got me, is what happened. I love Sesame Street. I watched a lot of Sesame Street growing up, and so I was like, somebody's definitely gonna want this. They did. 3 years later for $11.87. I will probably not pick these up again unless I'm going to personally use them. This is a 90s blue purple plaid cotton flannel button front dress. This is another item I picked up at the bins. I put it up for sale on Whatnot. It did not sell on Whatnot, but it did sell when I put it up on eBay. It sold for $18. I love picking up these button front 90s dresses, especially when they're in a midi or maxi length like this. They do sell very quickly for me. So I'm really happy that, I saved this beautiful vintage piece from the trash. It was a little bit of a heavy flannel, so I probably paid like $1.50 for this, but it still sold for $18. Again, sold very quickly after listing it, so perfectly happy with that sale. This is a ModCloth piece. Actually, I bought and sold this dress twice. The first time it was returned for fit, and this is the second time it sold. It did sell for my full asking price of $26.87 the second time. The first time I'd sold at an offer, so I made more money this time, which is basically just paying for the return last time. Regardless, it sold for $26.87. I love picking up ModCloth when I find it. It does normally sell for me. It's very bread and buttery. There are some pieces that are more valuable than others, but most it's bread and butter, and I just get excited whenever I find it because they make a lot of cute stuff. This next piece is a vintage Y2K Hollister piece. This is a wool blend. I picked this up actually at the bins. I paid probably like $1 or $2 for it, and it sold for $18, and the buyer paid for shipping. I thought that was wonderful. This is Lane Moriarty's Big Little Lies. Sold for $7.87. I paid 25 cents for this. So this was a great sale. This is a pair of Lululemons. These are the Hot to Street crop. I tried selling these a much higher price and they didn't sell, and then they sat for, 2 years, and so when I got an offer for $12, I accepted it. So I paid $5 for these at a thrift store, and I'm just glad they're not in my inventory anymore. So not all Lululemon is created equal, and even when you find the style name, apparently capris are just not in fashion right now. This is a Coogi shirt. Actually, the same person bought 3 Coogi shirts for me from that big haul I did. This is an XXL Henley, and then the same person also bought these 2 pieces, the XXL blue hooded Henley and then the other hooded Henley. So this person, I guess, really likes Henleys and is a 2XL. But they bought all 3 pieces for me, so $16.89 for one, $20.73 for another, and then $27.3 for that one. So I just gave them a bundle discount, and really glad that all of these have moved on, because I paid like $7 to $10 per piece for this haul, thinking that I was going to get a higher return on my investment, but then I realized that these aren't vintage Coogi. These are Coogi from like 2012 and 2014. And if you want to know how I know that, it is because of the fact that anything from Coogi after, I think, like the mid-aughts normally has the year and season it was created in the material tag. So there's that. When I realized it wasn't vintage Coogi, I was like, oh no, I probably shouldn't have bought all this, but I got excited and just glad that it worked out for me. The next piece is a big win. This is another item that I put up for sale on Whatnot for $2. It did not sell on Whatnot for $2. I did buy it at the bins. I paid probably like $1 for it at the bins. And this is a vintage Overtime Sports men's small Zamboni jersey. I talked about that vintage hockey jerseys I have done very well with. Some of them sell for hundreds of dollars depending on what it is and when it is and who made it and what team it's for and what's on it. But even though this is for a Zamboni, it's still sold for $40. I knew it would sell well. Again, I'm super surprised nobody took me up on it on Whatnot, because there are a lot of resellers on there, but I'm perfectly happy to list it myself, and it sold for $40 and the buyer paid for shipping. This is a Ted Baker tie. I love finding men's Ted Baker out and about. It does sell very well for me. Even a tie like this, I paid $1.50 for this tie and it sold for $15. I'm very happy with that return. This is a Nike golf piece. This is a 2XL. My last What Sold video, I sold another Budweiser polo that was like on Nike polo. And I said as soon as like the Dylan Mulvaney stuff blew over, I kind of figured that these would sell, and they did. Pretty much one sold and then this one sold. I picked this up at the bins. I put it up for sale on Whatnot. It didn't sell on Whatnot, but it did sell on eBay for $14. This is a new tagged Chico's piece. I got this out of the regular thrift store, so I paid $5 for this. It sold for $16.89. And as I said, this is a very sad week for me. I mean, I think that's what, like 15 sales? It was not a good week at the beginning of May. So I was like, oh gosh, this summer slowdown starting early. But yeah, but that's everything that sold for me on eBay. Thankfully, like I did make some good sales on Whatnot because of some books that I found. But yeah, first week of May was rough, but I hope your business is doing well and your sales are up, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. Until then, bye! Bye. Hero, hero. I wanna be a hero, hero. Oh, the hero comes, I can hear the drums, and a horse is drawn to the kingdom come through the pale moonlight. Hearts ignite to the core.